So in today's video, we're going to be covering open world fame farming, world bosses, static dungeons, coop dungeons, Ava roads, Ava raids, and also other kinds of fame farming methods that you might not have heard of. So make sure you check the video to the end, otherwise let's get into the video. So the first fame farming method is going to be open world fame farming, and this can be done as a solo but can also be done as a coop. Now the build I'm going with is something every single beginner can wear because it's cheap. It's 55 or now 51,000 silver, normal tier 3 horse, 4.1 gear, and also I don't have a lot of spec on the weapon, meaning it will be closer DPS to a beginner. I also want to point out that I'm using cabbage soup because this gives me extra HP, meaning I heal up faster, I can do mobs faster, and I just find it to be a very useful food. So I'ma use the new save portal right here for 10,000, press travel. Now we ended up in the top map right here. It's one of the furthest maps I've been teleported to. Now this is a bit insane, and it's a tier 6 zone quality too. So the mobs are not going to be that strong, and you can also view how strong the mobs are with this tab here, the extra damage and health modifiers that scale with quality, and also the mobs get harder with tier. So let's just pull up to these two mobs here, let's remove our shield, and once we pull them together, we'll just start doing our combo. I'll just tank everything right now since it's not that important in a low quality zone. Use my mercenary jacket for extra heals. And finally, when I kill them off, I'm gonna get 9,000 fame per mob. And honestly, while that does not seem like a lot, imagine killing 100 of these. That's already gonna be 900,000 fame, or around 1 million if you kill enchanted mobs. So as you can see, this enchanted mob gave me 20,000 fame, and it also gave me like 4,000 silver. And if I'm getting ganked, I can just come to my save portal, press back, and I'm gone. Now I got into a tier 7 zone quality too, so this is one tier higher than the last one. So let's see how much the more normal mobs actually give here. The mob actually gave me 11,000 fame and 2.2k silver. Now this is good for silver and fame, and as you saw, if you kill 100 of these mobs, you're gonna get over 1 million fame. Of course, once you teleport out with the save portals, you can actually go deeper into the black zone, so for higher tier zones, higher quality zones. I recommend doing that if you're in it for the long run, but if you're just coming out for like 10 minutes, then make sure you don't go too far because it's gonna be more running and less killing. And as you saw, that enchanted mob just gave me 28,000 and 5,000 silver. Now that's really good. Just recently they did update the group dungeons, meaning you will get more loot and mostly more fame if you have more group members, meaning it is worth it to do it with a 6-man, but don't go with anything over that. If you're over a 6-man, you should already go into the static dungeons. Now the static dungeons, these are on the map and you can view them from far away. You can see these huge monuments. Tier 7 dungeon, 3 to 5 players, usually you should add 2 to these recommendations. And for example, you can see the different exits here. The Exalted Crypt exit. Here you should have 1, 2. The Exalted Crypt exit. And it also says in what zone the main opening is. So in Skylake Hinterlands right here. If you open the map, you can also clear the outside of this. This is filled with enchanted mobs, or if it's been cleared, normal mobs. Enchanted mobs are really good, they give like 20,000 fame per mob. And if you're doing them with a group, you're gonna get a lot of fame. It's really worth it, and I recommend getting into a group to do static fame farms. Another thing I want to quickly cover is that you have the Avalonian roads. So Avalonian roads and Avalonian raids are different things. Avalonian raids are big dungeons you can do with groups, and they basically consist of 20 people coming together at a certain timer, killing a lot of mobs in the dungeon and then pulling out with a lot of loot and with a lot of more fame. But the Ava roads are a calmer place. There you basically can go with a 5 to 7 man, even sometimes place your HO into zones and just fuck around, get a lot of fame and a lot of silver. The best ones are the ones you can do with 7 people. Those are the golden dungeons, group dungeons, and basically everything marked on the Avalonian roads, because they give a lot of fame, a lot of silver, and you can also run into some combat so you can get some loot. A secret gatekept method is the 10v10 hell gates. Now for this you need to be really experienced. you have the 10v10 heligates, 5v5s and 2v2s. Now the 10v10s are the best because they give the most fame. If you clear it with a decent group, you get a lot of silver as well. And if you win fights, you get even more silver. Now people have become billionaires out of this, and I recommend getting into it if possible, but a lot of the times you need to know people to get into groups, and if you don't know them, you just basically won't get in, so unlucky to that, man. Now the best thing in the game for fame farming is world bosses. Now this is single-handedly the thing that brings you the most fame, and the specific world bosses that give you that are the ones that are the undead ones. Now you do have other ones like the Elder Sleep right here. You have the Eye of the Forest down here. You have the Morgana's one, the Demonian Keep, the Wailing Bulwark. But as I said, the undead ones are the best. But there's only 3 of these on the map. The Black Monastery, the Unhallowed Cloister, and finally Deathridge Priory. So this is really contested, meaning you will have to join a specific guild for this, or negotiate some political deal with someone to get your guild or your group into fame farming world bosses. Because world bosses are so highly contested, there are guilds built upon just clearing that world boss. For example, if you come to the leaderboards, the 3rd spot right now is Panda Squad, and they just do PvE, well mostly PvE, because they just farm it day on, day night, and they have multiple parties going at once usually, and a lot of people join the guild just to do those mobs there. As you can see, they have 17,000 million PvE fame in the last week. Because if you come to the statistics, go to the PvE fame, go to guilds, you can see that they outnumber the 2nd spot who clears the world bosses as well. All of these top guilds, like probably up to top 10, clear the world bosses. Now that is a little bit iffy because as you can see there's a 3 times difference here, because Panda Squad has the money and the members behind it to actually do the world boss, fight people off. They know their tactics, they do everything correctly, and basically it's just that the word goes around and people join them from time to time. Usually these guilds have hideouts right in the next zone, so in Deathwisp Sync you have the Panda Squad hideout, so they basically run to gate, zone into world boss, and basically clear all the mobs outside here, and just do it on a rotation so it never ends. Then they run back to hideout, deposit their gear, and do whatever they want. So the best method is going to be world boss fame farming. If you want to fame up quickly, I recommend doing that. Thanks for watching the video and don't forget to subscribe.
He spreads my cheeks and he makes me scream. He's my #1 daddy, gonna make him cream inside of me. Just keep riding me. When I'm slapping him down, it's my favorite sound. He let out a little more, what a beautiful tone, so softly. Just keep riding me. So let's go talk about it. You look so sexy when your hands are wrapped around it. Flip me over, be my